I'm Rami Tong. I'm the councillor at Makhanda Municipality Health and Corporate Services, but I'm not here in the cap of being a councillor, but I'm here in the cap of being the leader of the community, member of the community. Now, next to me, I've got Sipo Albani. Sipo Albani is the chairperson of Makhanda Legends. Makhanda Legends, it's not a political affiliated organization, but it's the organization that is being led by all the senior citizens in Makhanda. Then next to her, we've got Uzangi Mahlahla. Uzangi Mahlahla is the member of a regional executive committee of ANC. He's also the member of the local structure of ANC and the Women's League. Then next to Zangi, we've got Mr. Lepin. He's the leader of Kahisano. Kahisano is an organization that is against gender-based violence. He leads that in this area. Then the young man that is coming, Mr. Jam, secondly, City Akopa. This young man is Siyabonga Jam. Siyabonga Jam mans the office of Mrs. Losipwe Christian Makula. He's the one who is at the constituency office, parliamentary constituency office in Makhanda. And he's also the member of the SAP, South African Communist Party. Now, it's also a party that is fully supporting the issue of not removing the High Court from Makhanda. So I've said then let us start, because what I want to do, then also in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the legal brains. Ele is by belang reka persone obi omle. Ja. Nee, want die kan maar ons de betekenis van de rapport hier legally, the implications. So they are together with us also today. What I'm going to do then, ladies and gentlemen, we have got the petition. I've got the copies of the petition. There's no people when they're entering there, we put the copies of the petition so that people can sign the petition. And I think it's one of the things that has been very important to us. I've been inundated with calls from even people outside the Makhanda. SIZO MEDIA.
Is in Pretoria?
Yeah. Is in with embassy.
Come again?
With embassies.
He's working for the Home Affairs.
Yeah. SIZO MEDIA is working for Home Affairs in Pretoria. 2 or 4 days in Denmark embassy. He also called me to say, definitely we can't allow that to happen, we support that. And I was saying there's an NGO from Ghana, like King William Sound, who today they're having a march. You know that it's today the World AIDS Day. Now they are having a march there to march against GBV. That march will be addressed by Petition. And this lady, Asonele, was saying to me, Dada, please forward to me the copies of the petition, because I want also to influence people who are going to be in this march to sign this petition. Because she was saying, the person who killed my sister was given sentences in Makhanda High Court in October 2022. So she was saying, I support that. Let this court not come to Bhisho. Ladies and gentlemen, many people have got bad experience about Bhisho. As you will see that the status of Bhisho has really declined, and it is at its lowest ebb. And people would say, really, it's better for it to stay there. So I'm just trying to say to yourselves, many people are in support. That's why we said that let us meet today with those people that really are also in support. As I was saying, we may not have a full house here, but as these people belong to different organizations that have shown that they support this move, then from their constituencies now, they are able to go back and gather more signatures that support the stay of the High Court in Makhanda. I know also Archbishop Ngesi of Ethiopians. It's all that he's giving a sermon today at the opening of the World AIDS Day City Hall. But he's part of this course, he's part of also Makhanda. So he was saying, I need to get more constituents so that over the weekend, in my church, my constituency would sign petitions. I know also got a call from Bishop who also said there are other people who belong to our church who are Clemstonians, but they're not saying here they want to ensure that we are able to sign this petition. Now it says, ladies and gentlemen, then there should be that online facility for signatures to be attached to this move. Without having said a lot, I think I will start for the message of support. I will give Mr. Lepile, then Mr. Jam, Ms. Matata, Mr. Albani, and to our legal fraternity. If there is anyone also from the community, will definitely afford that opportunity. What you are saying, at least if we allocate 10 minutes per person, that would kill ourselves. It's a newborn scale of need. Sure, thank you. Over to Mr. Levier.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mulelo Libile. Already Mr. Makhanda Councillor. So long I'm mayor of the day from the last engagement we had. He's a councillor, but now he's not standing in the of being a councillor. I'm Mulelo Libile from an organization called Kahisan. That is looking at combating collective violence in South Africa. But I'm also serving as a national executive chairperson in victims and veterans in Kurumani support. I kindly agree with our speaker, the chairperson, Mr. Tonga, that it will be good and advisable that we must also have that online petition. Because nationally, 9 provinces in South Africa, they agree to our concern that the seat of the High Court must remain. We have engagements that we have shared nationally, and they were in support of various organizations in South Africa. Although there is a cry outside of this from the community side to say it is also advisable that we must go to the people from door to door. That's what we've been discussing this morning. We know in South Africa people are committed in various things, and then they are dealing with various issues on a daily basis. But we will take that as organizations that are working close to the community and take that as a support to these constituents that we are sitting on to today, and making sure that the High Court in Makhanda will remain here. It is in those short words, Councillor, that I want to say that fully 100%, we want it, we're working on it, and we make sure it's going to be a successful. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Lepile. Over to you, Ms. Matata.
Thank you, Chairperson of the session. Greetings to everybody in the meeting. As I've been introduced, I'm Sanki Makhanda. I'm born and bred in Makhanda. I am serving in different spheres because I've got love for this place. But today I am representing the Regional Executive Committee of ANC, as well as the ANC Women's League and the Veterans League of the ANC. As the ANC chair, we are also saying no to the movement of the seat of the High Court in Makhanda. We will do whatever in our power to maintain that. We've done it before. We are going to do it again. But what we're saying is ANC, this mammoth task is not for the ANC only. It is for us all. We are pleading with the community of Makhanda as before that please let us join hands. Let us see to it that together we rescue the situation of the residents of Makhanda. To us, we know what are the implications of the movement of this city. One, we understand fully that the employees within the institution itself are going to impact on the revenue of this particular poor place of Makhanda. It is poor already, but with this movement, it will be made poor. We are pleading with everybody. We will do whatever in our strength to see to it that everybody in Makhanda, around Makhanda, and within other provinces as well, is drawn to this mammoth task that is ahead of us. And again, we are saying, as the residents of Makhanda, as led by the municipality of Makhanda, the Makhanda people, their lives are on our hands. If we can miss this, we can kiss goodbye to this place, because once you move that institution, then a lot is at stake. Even, Chairperson, the people that are assisting us with the law in front of us today, their lives are at stake because they are going to lose some of the jobs that they are getting out of that institution. And again, we're saying, nobody, even a child that is born today, that is not affected by this movement. I've overheard the chairperson talking about this march that is taking place in King Williamstown. That march, it is because of the Makhanda people's unity. That family relied solely on your support, and you really supported that family. That is why that family today managed to stood up and formed a foundation around their deceased daughter. And they are saying, when they are talking in whatever platform they are given, Makhanda is the place that managed to lift us up. Therefore, we cannot manage to lose in Makhanda anymore. Fortunately, Chair, I was amongst the people when the case was deferred to Bhisho High Court. I was among the people that accompanied that family. A shame that we experienced today. We were drawn back to Grahamstown because Bhisho High Court doesn't have facilities. On that day in question, our case was impaired. Instead, we were then deferred back with that waste of resources, the minimal resources that we had. But because we said to ourselves, we want justice to be served, we were prepared to be taken from pillar to post in order to get the case sorted. What we learned is that Grahamstown or Makhanda High Court is the place to soothe the pain within our people that are being violated day in, day out. Therefore, we cannot manage to live without that institution. With those few words, Chairperson was saying no to the movement of the High Court or the seat of the High Court from Makhanda. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Makhanda. Qinisekile ngoba siyapha ngoba ngenayo sithe apha babantu balapha ngaphambili umungamnye we-constituency yakhe abe nemizuzu nje elishumi. Ms. Makhanda was talking on behalf of ANC and the Women's League. Now, besethethile Mr. Lepile on behalf of Kagisano, always gender-based violence. Now, uzawunikezela Mr. Jam, uzabethetha on behalf of the SACP, South African Communist Party. Over to you, Mr. Jam.
Thanks very much, Chair, for the session. Greetings to various organizations that are present. My name is Jam, representing the South African Communist Party. Chair, we want to firstly say this, that we are vehemently against or opposed to the move of this High Court to Bhisho. And our premise is simply because of the socio-economic challenges that the move would have on the Makhanda community. You ought to remember that the town, in fact, is already having an ailing economy. In fact, the entire country. But we are more poor on this side of the country. And having a high court which will move to Bhisho, which has no infrastructure to ensure that it caters for the needs of the high court, is absolutely an embarrassment when the government of the time. Why would you move a high court with an infrastructure that it has in the city and take it to somewhere else where there's no infrastructure? The question of small town revitalization ought to be on the agenda. You can't make use of the move of the High Court to revitalize Bhisho. Bhisho may be a capital city of the province, but currently in South Africa, you have the executive sitting in Pretoria, and you have the National Assembly sitting in Cape Town, and there is no issue. So why would you then take a high court from the poorer town somewhere else, which has a positive contribution to the revenue of the municipality? You must also understand that those who work at the High Court, some employ local residences, and those who work in the High Court, they may be able to move and can be accommodated at Bhisho, and you have no problem with that. But what about Umam Chawa, who is working for Mr. Smith? What about Umam Pinga, who is working for Mr. Rousseau? What about the livelihood of those families that will be disrupted by this particular move? What we don't understand as the party is that there was a move like this before, and it was defeated. Why would you then have the same move on the same court? We understand that perhaps material conditions would have changed, but the socio-economic challenges of the city have worsened. And if you would take a court to another town, you are going to worsen a worse situation before. And therefore, we are seriously opposing it, and we are going to engage all relevant departments, institutions, or offices on the matter to ensure that the High Court does not move. We are glad that we must mention this, Chair, that the legal brains of the city are here. Because we were saying in front of the party, we ought to formulate some legal views on the matter. So that even if we're galvanizing society and the entire city, we have legal brains that have formulated legal views on the matter. Not only do we look at it from a socio-economic perspective, but also their legal brains and legal perspective on the matter. So, with those few words, we want to reiterate our point or our view that the party is saying the court has stayed in Makhanda, it's contributing to the life of the city. Imagine when the court leaves. Just in front of the court, there's Checkers. Checkers is going to use the profit that it used to get from the workers of the court used to buy. And when Checkers loses profit, but the cost remains stagnant on the same, checkers of capital is going to retrench the workers. And that is going to have a negative effect on the city, meaning the city will have more unemployed people because checkers would have retrenched people. Not only checkers, perhaps other supermarkets and other shops will also lose revenue. It's not only the municipality that is going to lose revenue, but the entire city is going to lose revenue in this question of the court moving. But also, PNPs will equally lose revenue. There can't be a justification that moving the court to Bhisho it's for accessibility of the High Court. There can't be such. When the poorest of the poor people are going to Bhisho, they can't be assisted because Bhisho has no infrastructure. And they must go back to where they are coming from, using the minimal resources that they have. That is an embarrassment. That the court can operate and can assist the poorer of the poorest. So we are intentional in our call of ensuring that the High Court stays in Makhanda, High Court operates in Makhanda. By the way, this High Court rotates. It goes to Mtata, goes to East London, goes to Port. What is this issue that it must go to Bhisho? I hope it's not an effort to collapse the city, as it is already collapsing. So with those few words, we want to applaud the stakeholders for coming, and we want to thank you for coming as well, hoping that as we are starting, hopefully that this is a build-up. I shall get 10 minutes, 35. We are here to galvanize the entire city, and we must thank the SIZO MEDIA. It has that capacity to galvanize, even those who are found on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We are making in fact a clarion call that may this be a build up to more gatherings, two heads are better than one, and to ensure that the unity of this place is intact, so that whoever comes and may want to address us, we speak in one voice, we speak in unison. With those few words, Sebulela Chapasin, you may find us leaving very soon due to other commitments. Thank you very much.
Mr. Judge is mischievous. Mr. Judge is mischievous. Thank you very much, Mr. Judge. Kubantu abangenayo sithi apha singamqhelomnye sithi mayingahambi icourt erhini, kodwa sithi le nto iza kwenzeka xa sibambisene sonke, sitsala sonke. Sithe ke kubantu nabecawa abantu abafuna more papers for petition to be signed, baze bawacele ndizabanika iikopi so that ezicaweni banikwe abantu basayine. We have got up to the 31st of December to submit the petition. So that's why sithi abantu bonke siyabanikela thuba, sizawukwenza more forms so that people can be able to sign. Now sizawucela also from the ward councillors' point of view, because ward councillors have got ward committees. Ward committees zinikwe the petition so that kwi-areas zazo abantu bakwazi ukusayina i-petition. Now ndiyafuna ke ngokuba ndithi uMr. Ngeleza uphinde waphuma. Okay. Mr. Wani, Umama Mahlahla was talking as an REC member, Regional Executive Member of the ANC, and also as a member of Women's League. Now, siyafuna ukuva ke ngoku wena from the sub-regional point of view of ANC, Just then take a good jump 10 minutes. Now we have 10 minutes. then Grahamstown Nurses Association, Grana. It is really my lady. But what are the Retired Nurses Association saying in this regard? Then Sifuna Mama Ugoga representing homestays, bed and breakfast in Makhanda, homestays. Mama Ugoga, Sifuna by Mizuzu Mishan, Utinjenina as homestays. What's your feeling? You finish and ladies and gentlemen, I want to ensure that all the stakeholders that are present here, just 5 minutes to give a message of support, because we're saying that person is going to go back to his or her constituency and ensure what's important to us now to say, let us then sign this petition and ensure that it is by the 21st of December. That has been done already. Thank you. Fine. Mr. Sagata, neighbor would watch, it will be 5 minutes. 5 minutes, neighbor would watch. In that order.
Thank you very much, Chair of the session, Councillor. Greetings to everybody who is here supporting this clerical call. I am Fukile Wali from the ANC, Makhanda sub-region. Makhanda sub-region consists of 14 branches of the ANC. We had a session, where we reflected on the issue of the relocation of the High Court. We unanimously agreed to oppose that particular move, basing our stance on what Ucham from the SACB already alluded to, in as far as the financial spin-offs that will be disturbed by this move, the social-economic activities that will be disturbed. We kind of living in a town where there is a huge unemployment, and we don't support any move that will also contribute to the unemployment that we already have. Notwithstanding the fact that there are a number of other institutions of the same that this call might start at, so that we follow suit. We jealously watching closely the issue of the Cape Town and the Pretoria, of which we are taking it as it should start there, and all other smaller entities follow suit. They can't just pick up Makhanda, because if you really move High Court to Bhisho, you will be creating more job opportunities for Bhisho and surroundings. And at the very same vein, you created a lot of unemployment in Makhanda. Then as ANC, we just can't support that. We simply oppose this move. We have taken a stance that in any corner that people are discussing the matter of opposing this move, we will always make sure that we are there, we are supporting that. Any petition to be signed, we have already lobbied our branches, our general political support. We have already lobbied them, so that anybody who come across with that particular petition ought to sign that petition. So we are fully behind the fight against this particular move. As an ANC, we really don't support it. As I am coming here, I managed to have a minute with the executive mayor. and the executive mayor and the institution, they are also totally against this particular move. And the mayor already committed to say they are even more than willing to lead a campaign against this particular move. So we are lobbying everybody in any strategic position to support the call to really move this court, because this is not for the first time that it was coming in, it came and then we defeated that. And the rationale behind us fighting it then is still relevant even today. So we just can't support it. We are totally against it. We are supporting any organization, any person that is opposing to this move. We are also opposing this move. Thank you very much, Chair. I don't want to be long. Other speakers have already argued. We are just here to declare our support against this particular move. Thank you very much.
You know, Risa, I was saying to myself, Carlos, the journalist who wrote the article on the 25th that was saying Makhanda united against. It's a pity that she's not part of this meeting, because what transpired out of this meeting would definitely be in addition of the article that she wrote on the 25th. Oh, fine. Wonderful, wonderful, SIZO Media. Wonderful, my son. Thank you so much. Mama got 5 minutes. Sinika 5 minutes. Empa koko needs the malady, retired nurses. Empa koko neighborhood 5 minutes. Empa koko coalition, MCC, Mr. Smakuhle. Sample, correct. Then, MCC, fine. As I've said, I'm giving them 5 minutes now. But the importance of this exercise is to say all the stakeholders in Makhanda East are in full support of not moving the High Court from Makhanda to Bhisho. Sitho sonke. That's why ngifuna sabelane ngelixesha ngokuba besithetha uphuma ngo-11 kodwa ndifuna uba kube kwi-stakeholders engaphumiyo. Manikwamkele Bishop. Manikwamkele Bishop. Is this the right Bishop? You write the title. It's in the title that of Reverend Tom. Oh, okay, it's fine. It's fine. This young man, Reverend Tom, was my scrum half in Winterrose. We played together at Winterrose for first team. He was playing scrum half and I was playing front right and number 3. You can see him was brilliant. I mean, let's make it as a stage sphere. Yeah. Homestays in Makhanda. Homestays in Makhanda.
This opportunity and to everyone in this house. My name is Bhisho. I'm leading Guam Makhanda homestays and the BNBs here in Grahamstown. So now, as I'm standing here, I'm standing on behalf of them. As we heard this information saying that the High Court is going to Bhisho. When we sat down and discussed this matter, we took
izigaba ezithi no, this institution is very important for Grahamstownians. It can't move which and any inch. So that's why I'm here. The High Court can't move because there are many opportunities of Grahamstownians. Most of our people here in Grahamstown are benefiting because, as we know, we all know that there is no job. That will cause more and more of incapacity. The poverty will start again if this High Court can go away from us. As a government, we are not happy about this. And it's the pain to Grahamstown people and the people I know, more especially we who are Magana homestays, because some people who are coming outside Grahamstown visiting the court, they are sleeping in our homes. So there will be a lack of finances. We High Court, we are dependent in this High Court upon the economy. So we say the court, we don't want it to go in Bhisho. Thank you.
Nika 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Mr. Smakota for some will learn matters. Jingo Poland Smakota from the South African National Civic Organization, SANCO, the regional convener, Mr. What do you do with provincial executive committee staff, the province? Without further too much, my in this meeting, as SANCO Chairperson, must single for the initiative that we have taken up, because it's not easy for this kind of an initiative by my touch of office. It's easy to destroy, but it's difficult to build. It's a work for us collective. Thank you so much for Nobaselini. Because one of these moves is coming from one of the organizations. Let's go out and vote in numbers. We never say go out and outvote what we've already got. Didn't understand that we were coming out, saying go out and vote in numbers. We never say go out and vote for taking what belongs to us. As Umbuto Wabatani and colleagues, SANCO, we are here and we are unashamed. We are not saying as SANCO we are not in support of the movement of the city. We are saying we vehemently opposed to the move of the city. Here in Grahamstown, whether it's going to move in terms of portion or something else. But what we are saying, we totally against any form of taking the seat from Makhanda. Therefore, all these ideas, we are saying this thing is not new. It was there previously, and it vanished within the thin air. We don't understand what is it that is coming up. Therefore, the Constitution of the country, Act 108 of 1996, Chapter 2, is talking about the Bill of Rights. We are exercising our rights today to say we don't support whatever is coming up, whether it's coming from the president, whether it's coming from whoever, but we are saying the community, in any type of development, the future neighboring community must be consulted. If that is a consultation, the consultation must not be aborted. We are saying today that as SANCO, we support the community structures to totally move the city to remain in Makhanda. And we are, however, I'm repeating myself, that we are saying we're not supporting, we are totally and we vehemently opposed to any touching of the city. Nothing about us without us. As citizens of this town, we're 100% behind you, and we make sure that if ever it needs to come to the bush, and city will make sure that we will be together with you. Therefore, it's City My Makhanda. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's a neighbor watch.
My name is Luyanda Sakata, the chairperson of the Makhanda Neighborhood Watch. As the Neighborhood Watch, we are in full support of the High Court to remain in Makhanda. We are against any removal of any office in that High Court. This is not the first time we have this debate, and we've managed to win it. And even in this time, we are confident that we are going to win it. But this time, we must win it so that it doesn't come back again. We are sick and tired of talking one thing and again. This has to stop now. So, to the committee, we are with you in whatever you are doing. You are just a phone call away. We are going to help, even if it means we must go and sit in corners for signatures. We are going to help in doing that. Our soldiers are ready. We are going to help you. This is wrong. Thank you.
Naithanda ngone ibamba le 5 minutes yami. Naithanda ngone ibamba le 5 minutes yami.
Inkosi njalo. Masibulise bethunana. Bantu bonke. We greet you all. We are from the Retired Nurses Association. My name is Rose Soldiers. My colleague is Notawa Mayuni. She's going to talk. We came here because we really couldn't understand. What does it mean? The Grahamstown High Court is moving to Bhisho. And we came in Arizona from my phone. And I thought, what is going to remain now of Grahamstown? Fortunately, we are born and bred here in Grahamstown. We know that Grahamstown is a new one. So now, the resource that is there to assist the people of Grahamstown, at least to have a job. But that is not the only thing. Even the affair of the dignity of Grahamstown, why is the High Court moving to Bhisho? What does it mean to Grahamstown? Grahamstown is nothing. We didn't understand that as the the Nurses Association. So we thought we really to come. Even the mere fact of us is there. It talks a lot because Grahamstown, to lose that resource, it's very strange. It's difficult to understand. But in Indonesians of Shiega, Makhanda, otherwise it does not deserve anything that is genuine for the society, for the community, for the job opportunity, for because there's a lot of inaction resource. I don't understand. And I remain saying that High Court, Grahamstown High Court, must remain here as Makhanda. Maybe we are in this way. don't see the reason why it must move. Maybe him is nothing, does not deserve resources that can build this community. I don't know. You can add something if you want to. But we are Grahamstown Retired Nurses Association City. My fellow, I continue to be now.
Mr. Taylor, MPC, yeah, Tanda ne Baba le 5 minutes young. Yeah, Tanda ne Baba le 5 minutes young. MPC.
I learned of a new way of saying all protocols observed from the Anglican Church in England. It says protocols there. As members of the Makhanda Civil Community Coalition, we're saying we're totally opposed to the removal of the High Court from Grahamstown or from Makhanda to Bhisho for these reasons. One, even as I'm standing here, it feels like a deja vu, a nightmarish dream that I could, when I open my eyes, wake up from it and learn that this is not the state of affairs. We're saying this because in 1995, the Hoekstra Commission said no, the ripple effects of the move from Makhanda, which was then Grahamstown to Bhisho, would be too costly to contemplate. Again in 2010, the same result was that there's no way this High Court could be moved from Grahamstown because this remains a poor city. And the ripple effects would be that if the court was moved, that means the judges that sit on that High Court would also need to move. The people who worked for those judges when they stayed here would be unemployed. The legal firms that deal mostly with the work of the High Court, most of them may also need to move, and if they were to move, the people who work in those firms would also be left unemployed. We're still talking professionals, but there are also domestic workers who sustain these families so that they can in turn be able to sustain our families in the community. If all these people were to move, then this would have a devastating effect, particularly on Makhanda East community. And we also feel, therefore, that once again we should reiterate what may have been said over 2 decades ago by the Hoekstra Commission, that the High Court should not be moved and it should remain here. We agree with the other speakers who said, let's hope that this time when we say no, this issue will never be revisited again. Thank you, Chair.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Chairperson. I would like to acknowledge Bishop quality. his presence here, and it is actually great, for us all. You can see, as who Chairperson was explaining here, that these churches themselves are beginning to discuss this matter of the removal of the Supreme Court from here to Bhisho. But I would like to just mention, only 3 things that I would like to ask to consider very, very carefully, here. My name is Bhisho. I'm Chairperson of the Makhanda Legends. Makhanda Legends is a social movement, non-political, attached to the churches. Fortunately enough, before it became a Makhanda Legend, it was a concerned citizen of Grahamstown, which was the initiative, of that bishop. And so we are trembling, on his footstep. Then we gave it a name thereafter. So the point I would like to raise, it's an issue of consultation. No consultation has taken place here regarding the removal, except of seeing that report of Moseneke, that interim report. We have been at least now having some consultation with some of the legal brains. We saw the interim report. We were told that at least, Ms. Asma from the white side, they are busy preparing a submission for the 31st of January. So we looked at the report, we circulated it, and then we discussed it at length. So we said no proper consultation, in fact, not even a proper, no consultation whatsoever has taken place. So we feel very aggrieved by that at this moment. And on top of it, we are mindful of the fact that it is, when the Supreme Court was put here, it was put here for a specific reason. It was never, just something that was thought, whether it was put by the government of yesteryear and so on. But the fact remains, it's here now. We have to defend it. It's our own government, democratic government, that comes up with these moves of moving the Supreme Court, to Bhisho. Fortunately enough, I'm in constant contact with the government. We discuss about these things. He was once in Bhisho for a couple of years, where they have to commute on a daily basis. They form up a team of commuting between Bhisho and Grahamstown on a daily basis. He was actually there at the time, at least with the MTPP. So he knows. I know the buildings. I used to go and visit him there. I know the building. Let us put it very plainly and clear. Bhisho is not a suitable place for this Supreme Court. Bhisho is alien. You can see, the buildings that are seated there, we are not downgrading Bhisho, but it's a reality, it's a fact. It's a fact. We must say it openly. And in this actually situation, I'm taken aback. Obviously, people who were born and bred here, just like I am, are taken back. That Supreme Court, it has a significant meaning here. That's where some of our leaders who were actually sentenced to Robben Island were actually brought here. We would see, I was a child, I would see this, police cars, it is in convoy, it is a show of force, because they have actually arrested terrorists and they were to be sentenced here. You would see the siren, as they were actually not kept here. They were kept, some were kept in the Alexandria, Port Alfred, but from Port Alfred until up to here, you will see on the road it is the siren that is, that was actually leading to the Supreme Court. So this is what takes me back, that it is, it has that significance of leaders today who were terrorists yesterday. So I'm appealing once more, let us as a community of Makhanda, once more, let us be united. There's no us and them. It's all of us together. We will fight this battle together as a community of Makhanda. Bishop, it is important Elizabeth, but he took upon himself that it is must hold, his whole come and be with us. We've got his other church leaders. On Sunday, this is going to be talked about in all churches. We want to get this as much as pamphleted, as register as possible. We will go, as he was saying, if it's no Sunday, that it is, we'll go to the streets. Even if it means that must go to door to door, we will do it. We have done it in 7 we have done it, Council, and yes, we really have last week at least in that gender-based violence. We will do it even today. So please, at times numbers doesn't mean a thing. So to some people it means quite a lot. Had we have known that today it's a old age, pension day, probably would have actually just changed the date. Had we have known that it is today, in fact we knew that it is, we have it is another campaign, it is another session which is taking place as we speak at Downtown for the World AIDS Day. So we would love to have some forms here. If Councillor, you permit me, that it is, I will request to Archbishop there. That it is, if you are not that tight, that you be given at least even 5-10 minutes at least around this flight, because there will be a lot of people like this at that time. But the point I'm getting at now is that all these things of removal of the Supreme Court, as Makhanda mentioned, we reject it totally. And we are planning to have a march, and that march is going to be us as community of Makhanda. We are going to go to all the corners. Such a process, and to film a location, to colored area, and to town. And in those actually just sessions, we are all going to be united together. We'll go and give full support to the legal fraternity. So with those words, Councillor, thank you very much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, my comrade, he kneeled to say just 1 minute before, because no one is going to talk after the bishop. Bishop will be closing. So it's I'm sorry, why? What did with that? We are going to get one from the legal fraternity. Sorry. How can I miss the boat? How can I miss the boat? Just 1 minute, then I give the legal fraternity.
I'm coming from Quebec. In Dr. Twango High Court. Shortly, I heard speakers talking about consultation. The particular principle, all departments are compelled to adhere to. The first one speaks about consultation, courtesy, service standards, access information. Chapter 4, Section 10, Council of Power, is a must be of democracy. It's compelling for people to voice their voice in matters of this nature. We are totally against the removal of the High Court of Grahamstown. Reason being, all places got high courts. And it's an unfortunate that in our Bible is written in our MTP. They have said 1 second. I'm counting that second, then Council of Power. I want just quickly to read what is written, not by me. Page 18, NTP, it says, we know that those to whom we have given them the privilege to govern our land do so on our behalf and for the benefits of all the people. It's a very contradictory statement when people cannot consult. Chapter 2, Section 10 of the Constitution says, we have inherited a right, our dignity must be protected and respected. By removing the High Court without asking us our feeling, the legal fraternity will tell us how many divorces are in court. It's very much high. Then when you displace families, you are constituting a divorce irrespective of what. Because if you are taking me as an advocate of High Court to Grahamstown and I leave my wife here, what do you expect? Then when I come back from Bhisho, there's a lot of children that they look like me. When I heard about this thing, you know, Council, I pick up a call and I talk to my minister because I'm ANC. And I've said, you are abusing us, comrades. Stop it. Until you do proper consultation, the people of Makhanda, they know and they're vested in information and you know the reasons why. Because one of my brothers talked about domestic workers. Immediately we don't have jobs. This pandemic cost us a lot of jobs. So those people will not have jobs. Do we have money to build a Bhisho? We've got a space there for what? I think our government is playing, sometimes. I don't know who have taken that decision that the High Court must be taken. We've got a psychiatrist here. Some cases must be approved at the High Court, am I correct? Yes. We are totally saying no. And nothing about us without us as citizens of this man, of this city. And I think government must take us into serious consideration. I think our legal comprehensive continuity will take us to the legal and the statute of the country that as a layman will understand. But what we are saying is that as the ESOL sees with the application, we are saying the court is going nowhere. Thank you.
So I'm sure we will be getting mileage in the front page of ESOL in this regard. Definitely, we're happy about that. Mr. SIZO Media, you want to say something? Okay. Super.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is SIZO. I'm not on behalf of SIZO Media. I'm talking as a citizen of Grahamstown. I'm happy to see all these leaders from all spheres of this community here, and they all oppose it, and I also oppose the move to Bhisho. There's a reason the High Court wants to move. Maybe they will elaborate, but for me as a citizen and a business owner, I would, even myself, I thought of moving because of the infrastructure and the load shedding and so forth. So we all know this, and we all do. And that's just for me, from my own experience. I'm not saying that's the reason for the court, but my experience. They might share it also. And it makes it hard for the court to operate, to do those approvals, those psychiatric approvals, to do everything that the High Court does. High Court stops every day, every other day because of no water, no electricity. Can't, all these things, matters that have to be settled by High Court, it can't happen. Meaning it's not functioning as it should be. The town is becoming inconducive for business, not just the High Court, for everything. It's becoming a place where we cannot grow and thrive. So I plead to you, leaders of this community. It's not just the High Court that wants to go. There are many people that are not happy with the situation of country. And I wish that you could come as a collective, just as you are for this, is to make this town a conducive place to live in, to practice, to do business, to take your kids to school, to take your kids to hospital, etc., etc. Because fundamentally, that is the problem that we are facing in this town. I just ask you, my leaders, to all come together and make this town conducive and have a healthy and dignified way to live. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zon.
Mr. Tomba, thank you for arranging this meeting. We are very grateful for that. I'm Bryn Brody from a firm in town, and I'm the chair of the subcommittee of the High Court Action Committee. The main committee is chaired by SIZO Media, the Vice Chancellor of Rhodes University. The other committee members are Archbishop Makhanda, Bishop Mhlali, Margie Keaton, and Owen Skay, who is the head of the business school at the university. That committee is meeting this afternoon, and we are fighting this campaign. So let's talk historically about what's happened to Grahamstown and the High Court. Historically, the nationalist government wanted to move the High Court to Port Elizabeth in the 1960s and the 1970s, and that was stopped. Then the Hoekstra Commission, as an earlier speaker mentioned, was asked to advise President Nelson Mandela's government, and they said you can't move the High Court because it will devastate Grahamstown, Makhanda. It will cause a ripple effect that will be catastrophic. Those are the words of the Hoekstra Commission. Since then, we have fought this battle 3 times. The last time was 2010, and I personally attended a meeting in the town hall where Gwede Mantashe was the guest speaker, and we explained how the movement of the High Court would devastate the town, and to move the seat would be to move the Queen Bee, and the rest of the bees would follow. And you can't just say by moving the High Court, the seat of the court is not a serious thing. So there we won the battle, and that was after the Minister of Justice, Jeff Radebe, had announced to all the judges that he was going to move the High Court. We now have to fight the battle again. And what has happened this time? The Moseneke Commission of Inquiry, if you've read the interim report, has had input from people, we don't know who, that come from the East London Bhisho area, never asked us for a comment, and now has made an interim report and an interim finding that the court must move. We say that the Commission of Inquiry's terms of reference do not include the decision about moving the seat of the court, but only about the areas of jurisdiction. So we'll be fighting that in our submissions. But the issue that we have to look at, which affects every person in this town, is what it's going to do to this town. We know that 400 families will move. Those are the top earning people in the city. 1% of the city earns above 100,000 Rand a year. 1%. If 400 families move, that's a big chunk of the economy. Those people employ another 600 people. So that's another 600 families who can't move. So they will stay here and they'll be unemployed because Makhanda can't produce other business. It can't. It has no industry. It's got a few private schools, it's got a few businesses, it's got no industry. High Court moves, that's 1,000 families that are going to be taken out of this economy. And that's just the beginning. Because as an earlier speaker mentioned, you have Checkers, Pick and Pay, all the other businesses, they'll start retrenching. So add another 500 families to that and see what Grahamstown will look after the court has moved. So what is it that you can do? The first thing you can do is all organisations that spoke here today is please walk into the reception area of Wilden, the Rushmere, that's across the road from the High Court, and give the name of your institution so that you can be part of the campaign. We're doing a list. We've already got, I think, 18 people, 80 organisations on that list, and many of you who spoke here today are not on the list. Get your name on the list. Because the government looks at that kind of thing. That's the first thing you can do. The second thing you can do is get as many of the petitions signed. If we can get 10,000 people to sign a petition, the government's going to look at it. Nobody's going to sign a petition in Bhisho. Why? Because there's nothing in Bhisho. There's no infrastructure there. You can't even buy a cup of coffee there if you go to court. There's no restaurants there. There's no accommodation there. You've got to stay in Port Williamstown or East London. So we've got to get as many petitions signed as possible and hand them in. The next thing you can do is contribute money towards the campaign. Even if you give 50 Rand. If you get 50 Rand from 1,000 people, work that out. Where do you pay that? You can pay that in buildings again in the trust account. We've already raised 100,000. We put out the call 4 or 5 days ago. We've raised 100,000 Rand, but we need more. It costs to do these campaigns. It costs to send documents by courier. It costs to send our advocates to Cape Town to speak to the Moseneke inquiry. All of that costs. Even setting up the petition, having people sitting at tables, getting the petition done, that all costs. So you can contribute. Sign the petition. Contribute money, even if it's 50 Rand, 10 Rand. Contribute towards the campaign. Put your organisations on the list. And the last thing you can do is talk. Talk to people. Talk to organisations. Talk to your leaders. So we are going to have to leave literally now, Mr. Pompa, because we've got a meeting with the mayor and the municipal manager at 12, and it took us about 20 minutes to get here. So we're going to have to leave now. But I want you please to talk, because with the power of speech and pulling strings and writing letters, we will win this battle. If this court moves, it will devastate this town, not for now, for the time of your children, your grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren, because nothing else is going to come to this town. Miracles like that do not happen. And this argument, they've only got two arguments for moving the court, only two. One is that the seat must be at the provincial seat. And how was that Bhisho created? Think about it. Think about how Bhisho was created. Are we going to take the seat to Bhisho, the brainchild of Sebe? And the second thing is, somebody mentioned it earlier, you do not have to have the seat of anything at the government capital. The Constitutional Court is in Bloemfontein. Head of government is Pretoria. The court structures are in Bloemfontein. They're not in Pretoria. They're not in Cape Town. That argument does not follow. Nationally, it does not follow. Secondly, the other argument is the distance to get to the court. That doesn't work either. I'll tell you why. Because if you move the court from Grahamstown to Bhisho, there are millions of people living in Port Elizabeth and Uitenhage who then have to travel further to get to the court. And where's all the business in this province? In PE and Uitenhage. All the car manufacturers, there were 450 attorneys in PE. So that argument doesn't follow either. Your average person goes to the magistrate's court, and every town has a magistrate's court. Business, big business, go to the High Court. Those are the people you must look at for access by distance. So moving it also has no argument. And the last thing I want to say is, where is the money going to come from to build this court? And the Master's office, and the DPP's office. And we have worked out. Advocate Scorsana told us 12 years ago, just to fix up the court and get it ready was going to cost 250 million. The cost of building it now increased 3 times. What's it going to cost now? 700 million, 800 million? And that's just for the court. And the Master's office has to be put in there, and the DPP's office. Where is this money going to come from? The government's struggling to get money to pay for the diesel for Eskom. Yes. Now we're going to spend 800 million, maybe $1 billion, on moving a court. For what reason? Everything is here. It's working. It works well. So Mr. Kolka, carry on with your campaign. The High Court Action Campaign will be fighting this, and we are not going to rest. So the submissions have to be in by the end of January. We've got a legal team working on that. There are 10 points in our submissions. I'm not going to repeat them all. But the biggest point is the economic catastrophe that will be caused not only to Grahamstown but to this whole area. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We wanted to hear this legal voice in this regard. Please, I'm saying to Bhisho, he's the last speaker, and I'm giving the Bishop 1 minute because I want you to listen to that 1 minute.
Thank you, Program Director. Good morning, everyone. I was born and bred here. I left here in 1980, and I went around the country working. But now I'm here in PE. I will be talking about justice. The church is saying, and it will always say, that it is against any injustice that is happening to the people. And this is unjust for the reasons that have been given here. You know, when I thought about this, I thought about, you know, those boys that are washing cars of the people who come to High Court. Those families, they sleep with something to eat because of the people who came to High Court. Now, I'm here for 2 reasons. The church is saying, the government, watch out. Government, watch out. You know, we have elected the government. But there are so many things that we are disappointed about the government. And the church is saying, government, watch out. This city of mine, you know, when I come to my house here, I don't have to sleep because there's no water. There's no water. If the government has got money to take this court to Bhisho, can't he use that money for water? And what is going to happen to that building? What is going to happen to that building? Look, how many schools here that are vandalized? How many schools? Why are they not fixed? If the government has got money, why is he not using that money properly and for the benefit of the community of Grahamstown? The church is saying, I'm glad that Councillor Contra, you are government. But I'm saying the church is saying, government, watch out. Watch out. We have been too silent. We have been too silent as a church because some of us are sleeping with the government. And now they can't speak out. We are saying, people of Grahamstown, put down divisions. People of Grahamstown, put down all what is dividing you and be united. Not only, I like what he said, not only about this thing of the High Court, but about other things that are really, crime, we must be united. The crime that is happening in Grahamstown. This water thing. I'm hearing the minister is going to Port Elizabeth, talk about water, but I never heard that he came here. Why? And we have people in that parliament who have something to do with Grahamstown, but they are quiet. Why? So I want to follow you because I need us to go to have follow up what we do next time. What we do. The last thing that I propose, instead of the committee goes to Moseneke must come here. Moseneke and his commission must come here and listen. We are going to waste money to go to Cape Town to him. He must come here and tell us who has permitted them to say the bishop, the High Court must go to Bishop. We have seen that Bishop. You see this government, watch out. Government, watch out. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we should release our legal. They are rushing for the next appointment. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Bantu bakuthi siyavala ngoku. Teresa, you have got my number.
Thank you so much.
Fine.
Thank you so much.
So you're welcome. Masibulele kakhulu nesiteko uBishop sisithethe sokugqibela. Sonke intonga sizibethe zakuzophela. Intonga sizibethe zophela. Loo nto ke ithi bahlali njengoba besesithile siyaqhuba necampaign. Siyaqhuba necampaign ye-signatures and we have said here, Adrian, once you were not here, we are willing also to go to that other side of the so-called colored area to have a meeting. Also just to take both, they are also our people, to take them on board in this regard. That is open, we'll facilitate that, you'll also advise us, but we want to ensure that at least nobody is being sidelined in this regard. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Bishop, thank you very much. And Adrian, kan jy nog onthou my skramskakker? Ja, it's not fine. Masipakamin. Mount Kruba, Castle Valley.
Masithanda. Unguthixo wobawo bethu. Ungukamatha kadala. Unguthixo wethu. Sibulela ingwenye bawo ukuba yonke into esiyenzayo siyenzele inzala yethu. Siyenzele indawo yethu yokonwaba nokuhlala. Siphucula inhlalo ngayo yonke into esiyenzayo. Sincede ke Thixo. Hamba nathi sesiyiqalile le ndlela nansi yordani phambi kwethu qhekeza vula indlela ngoba ungumvuli wendlela. Thixo wethu namandla siyabulela ngabantu babalo nothando imvisiswano ubudlelane bukamoya oyingcwele bungahlali ngosiyocolithi buye. Amen.
Thank you so much, Pastor.